Man, I tell you guys, I know here in the States, Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer, but I didn't expect it to change that freaking quick. It's 51 degrees out there, man. Now I'm a dude from New England, so I don't get cold very easily, or at least I don't bitch and complain that often. But man, when you're enjoying the beach at near 80 degrees, and then 2 days later you're at 51 degrees, yeah, I got a little bit of an issue with that. Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer. I was hanging on to the unofficial part. Man, it's back to Florida real soon, man. Obviously, every Halloween I like to do that anyway. All the festivities, because of this pandemic, are pretty much being canceled, but I got some cool things lined up, man, for Halloween, so should still be a blast. But I got to get back to the warm weather, man. I shouldn't be dealing with fall until like November. You know what I mean? I like to see the turkeys and the Christmas talk. I mean, you go into stores, man, and I kid you not, early August, you're starting to see Christmas shit. It's like, dude, can I enjoy summer? Can I just enjoy the beach? You got me stressing about Christmas gifts already, dog. Relax. Chill on that shit. Just for another month or two. At least. Anyway, guys. Yeah, it's getting pretty cold already, man. But I wanted to come at you guys with a couple of topics. Impromptu style, obviously. Hopefully you guys got a few minutes for the Ant-Man. I know I said I wasn't coming back to you guys till tomorrow for NXT and AEW. I still hope to do that. But a couple of things, man, that just need to be discussed. And I had a good at least 20 minutes. So let's discuss. I want to start off. I'll get to Sasha Banks in a second because you're not going to believe what WWE is doing with her. But Mickie James, that was the big topic Monday night. And it was a huge topic in my review show yesterday. Which, thank you guys, everyone who tuned in. I know that went up really late yesterday, and thousands of you guys still flocked to it, man. And you guys seem to have really enjoyed it. So, thank you, man. That was just us relaxing, having some coffee, and shooting the shit, man. And it looks like you guys like that vibe and shit. So, badass. Thank you guys. I know that went up really late, and you guys still showed that so much fucking love. You know, there's people in this community, they try to, right when a show ends, they try to jump on a video or a live stream. You know, they need your attention right then and there. Strike while the iron is hot. And then there's the Ant-Man. I'm like the tortoise, right? I'm fucking slowly, 15 hours after the show ends, I'm coming at you guys with a review. And, man, I still have... It's awesome to know that no matter when I upload, I have thousands of people that are still going to come to the channel and show that love. And that's so awesome to know that I don't have to rush right after a show ends to do a video or to do a live stream. You know, I don't need to. I just don't need to. You know, and I know there's a lot of people in the community that have that fear that if I don't strike while the iron is hot, if I don't get their attention right when the show ends, when they're still in that wrestling mood and mode, that I'm not going to pull in a certain number. And it's, you know, that's sad to have to think that way. Not me, man. I put out any video whenever I want, but live streams especially, I don't even tell anybody. I just come out 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 5 at night. I just come out of nowhere with a live stream like an RKO. But you guys show up, and that's awesome to know that I never have to worry about that. Whenever I put it up, you guys will still watch. I could put up a Raw review on a Thursday, 3 days later, and you guys will show up. So I wanted to just show my appreciation. Much love, guys. But a big part of that topic, back to my point here, was Mickie James. And that awkward, cringeworthy, what the fuck finish that happened with Asuka and the referee, who has a track record anyway of just some weird / botched calls. And it was obvious that Mickie James wasn't hurt, or nothing severe anyway. because even she was shocked, and then she kind of just rolled over, so it wasn't a shoulder injury or anything. She literally just rolled over. Maybe she had her bell rung a little bit. We don't... Only Mickie knows how she truly was feeling, but the look on her face said it all. No, this isn't the planned finish. Let me finish. That was her look. Asuka stayed on the mat, not knowing what's going on. The ref keeps clicking his black box. Clearly, he looks like distraught, like, uh-oh, did I make the right call? But Vince is yelling in his ear, the referee. That's that black box, and he's got the earpiece in. So Vince is yelling at the ref. The ref is having an oh shit moment. Mickie James is pissed, Asuka's confused, and the fan base just as much. Now, as it pertains to Mickie James, the initial report, now this is a report of substance, not the speculation, the initial report that came in yesterday, as we all pretty much knew anyway, just judging by the look on Mickie's face, as I just aforementioned, was she was not injured. So there's a lot of people, even Mick Foley and Lance Storm. I'm hearing reports of a shoulder injury. Well, the report that we got was she is not injured and the ref just botched. Or Vince ended it because he didn't like what he was seeing. So, right there, the initial report is exactly what we thought. This came from a botched decision by the ref who just didn't let Mickie get back on her feet, or Vince just pulled the plug. Either way, I call it the Thunderdome screw job. But then late last night, we had a revised update. So a little bit more information came in. It doesn't jump too far off the path of the initial report, but the revised report went like this. It said that the ref called the match because he thought Mickie was out on her feet because she was selling so well. I'm sorry. What the fuck? Nowadays in pro wrestling, protocol for safety is so severe that if you sell too good, the referee doesn't give you the benefit of the doubt. Now if you did get clocked a little bit, but you're still selling flawlessly, the ref can end the match now, especially a title match? Is this what we've gotten to in pro wrestling, guys? This is what we've come to for safety? Mickie just flipped over. Give her a second. She had her arm kind of trapped underneath. She got it out. That's when people thought she was tapping. She just got her arm out. She planted it. She was about to get up, and she finds out the ref just called for the bell. At least let them go to the Asuka lock finish and say, hey, no, submit by the Asuka lock. Tell her. The initial move where she flipped over and this all started was the Asuka lock. So you just say, all right, tap. That's a report from the boss. Boss wants tap. Boom. But what's up with just finishing the match and Mickie not receiving the benefit of the doubt? So anyway, guys, again, the revised update is that the ref thought she was out on her feet because she was selling so well. The way she was taking some of the moves, he was like, she doesn't seem right. No, called selling. So no matter which report you go with, it's the same conclusion. It's the Thunderdome screw job. I don't care how they try to spin this. If Mickie herself comes on social and says she has an injury of some sort, I legit will be calling bullshit. I will be. She was shocked when the bell rang. She didn't look injured at all afterwards. The ref just jumped to an unnecessary decision. Has Mickie not earned the right to finish the match? I understand precautions, but this isn't exactly a Matt Hardy situation, guys. Not even close. I'll tell you what I believe. And again, you're going to hear, I'm sure you're going to hear another 100 versions of what happened, right? Mickie will claim something because Vince will tell her, hey, can you just say this? WWE, who already released a statement, and WWE even acknowledged there's no injury. They literally just said the ref felt Mickie could not continue anymore. No. So don't be fooled if now we find out there is. No, WWE didn't even say there was going to be an MRI done in a day or two, because that's usually what they'll say if there's a legit injury. MRI. Or she was out on her feet. Or concussion protocol. Nothing. In WWE's statement, it just said the ref called for the bell because Mickie couldn't continue. No, that's not how WWE operates. When there's an injury, they come straight out and they tell you at least what the general area is and that there will be an MRI in future results will be told. Nothing. That's because we all knew there was no fucking injury. So no matter what you hear going forward, this was an absolute botch from the ref. But I believe, if you want my 2 cents, and this is pure just speculation, I like facts on this channel, but I'm going to tell you what I believe happened. I think Vince wasn't happy with the way the match was going. He already was pissed off with Mickie because of what her husband, Aldis, said, Nick Aldis, about Bruce Pritchard, Vince, and WWE's Raw ratings being in the tank. And then a few weeks later, Mickie returns to WWE. So Nick Aldis did not do Mickie James any favors. But we know how petty Vince McMahon in WWE is. So I believe Vince wasn't happy with the way the match was going. The second he saw her in an Asuka lock, it was like the Montreal screw job with the sharpshooter. And Shawn Michaels getting Bret Hart. And I believe Vince told the ref, ring the bell. I don't care what anybody says. That's what I believe. This was the Thunderdome screw job, guys. I truly believe, because I know how Vince works. I saw the confusion in the ref's face and trying to play it off with that dumb look. I know that ref's track record. I saw the look on Mickie's face. I saw her roll over. No shoulder injury. Sorry, Mick Foley. Sorry, Lance Storm. WWE never even mentioned an injury in their update to the story. Mickie James never went on social. She just put not like this with a broken heart. But 3 days later, I'm supposed to believe, yes, I had a slight concussion. My shoulder was injured. I was kind of out on my feet. No, you weren't. The match wasn't superb, no doubt. It's still good for me. It was Asuka and Mickie James. Even on their worst day, they're going to put together a good match. But I believe this was a call from Vince, as much as we want to just bash out the botched referee. I think this was a call from the old man in Stamford, Connecticut. I think they were in cahoots during the end of that. He wasn't happy with what he was seeing with Mickie. He's not happy with Mickie anyway. He's pretty upset with her. Let's just end the match. That'll really piss off a veteran like Mickie, man. Because if that happened to like Randy Orton, if that happened to John Cena, if that happened to, not too much of a veteran, but even if that happened to Charlotte Flair, they would be pissed, bro. But it's just Mickie. End the match. Let's not give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's not even say go home to Mickie, right? Just tap. No. Let's end the match and let's fuck with her. This was the Thunderdome screw job. I don't care what they try to spin this as. I don't care what McMahon and WWE come up with. I don't care what they force Mickie James to say. And again, I'm just speculating that they're going to come out with a story. That's going to try to sell an injury. But there was people yesterday that were legit thinking they knew what was up. There was people literally going, BC, she literally got injured, man. So this was a precaution, BC. Everyone relax. This was the right move. No, she was not injured. Look at her face. I'm supposed to believe you, but not Mickie James, the person that was in the match. She was like, what the fuck, dude? That's the what the fuck face. If you don't know the photo I'm talking about, check out my last video. It's the Raw review. Check out, it's in the thumbnail. That's the look of, what do you mean you just rang the bell? You're either going to get that look or you're going to get the look Bret Hart gave at 1997 Survivor Series when Vince McMahon screwed him via the sharpshooter and he never tapped. That's the what the fuck look. But then there's fans that think they got the inside word, right? Oh, what I'm hearing is there was an initial thought to be an injury, and so as a precaution, they stopped the match, BC. New safety procedures. Fuck you talking about, dude? She flipped over. She got her arm underneath her. She finally got it. She was about to pop up and fucking the ref has already got the bell rang. In what fucking world do we do that? This is pro wrestling. The old saying is it's not ballet. I love safety precautions. I love that we're getting better protocols to help keep these wrestlers safe. This is a championship match with a veteran and a gal like Asuka who's more than a veteran, a badass chick. Let him rock. Or at least have the common courtesy to say go home. If you're trying to sell me that they honestly thought when Mickie turned in that 2 seconds, the ref thought she was knocked out, doesn't even bother trying to ask or see, just immediately jumps up and rings for the bell. Come on, bro. I'm not buying it. I think this was from Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He had the ref do the dirty work, and we have the Thunderdome screw job. I don't care what any story comes up later on. I don't care about any, hey, BC, did you hear Mickey said this? Or WWE issued this statement. No, I already know what WWE issued. They've already put their foot up their own ass. They already backed themselves into their own corner. No injury. Trust me, this was a botch. Or a straight up call from Vince McMahon screw job. Either way you look at it, Mickey got screwed. So anyway, moving on. I know that took a little bit. So I got 20 minutes. Well, I still got, what do I got? 5 more minutes at least, right? To talk some Sasha Banks. Good news, bad news scenario with my Sasha. You guys know I love Sasha. For you new subscribers, and I don't know what was up with the video yesterday. I was just chill, relaxed. I wasn't even that amplified. But we gained a lot of subs yesterday, man. So pretty cool in that vid, in that review. Thank you guys. For all you newbies out there. This is a pro Sasha Banks channel. I don't know if that's going to piss you off in the future or not. Nothing I can tell you or do about it. That's not going to change. We love Sasha Banks on this channel. So I thank you for subbing. I thank you for joining the Amplified unit. The smartest wrestling fan in the community by far. But just know up front, we love Sasha Banks. But that does not mean we just ride on the coattails. Anybody who's been subbed for this channel for a long time will tell any new subscriber that we will hit Sasha Banks just as hard. Sometimes even harder because we do love Sasha Banks. So it's tough love. But anytime that I see something not going right in Sasha's booking or Sasha herself, like when her and Bayley were a face tag team over a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was, I didn't like that at all. I didn't feel that was the timing for Sasha Banks. I didn't feel that's what Bayley needed. It was just me for months, bitching, moaning, complaining, and getting amplified on how this is not how you should be utilizing Sasha Banks. I even pissed off some of my own Sasha Banks fans because I was not happy with the booking. So that's what I mean. I'll always stay fair and consistent. I promise you guys that. No matter who I like or who I'm a fan of, sometimes I'll be even harder on them. But Sasha Banks, good news, bad news scenario. The good news is they released a trailer for the, let me get this right, Mandalorian, a movie or a show. I don't know what the Mandalorian is. I think is it Star Wars? I always get Star Wars and Star Trek mixed up. BC, you're from the 80s, man. You didn't watch Star Wars? I think I did when I was a kid, guys. I just never got into it. So I don't know what really the Mandalorian is, but I'm a huge theme park nerd. I love Universal, even Disney World, and I think I just heard Mandalorian in Disney in this new Star Wars world. So I'm going to say it's Star Wars. I know you guys probably know, and you're like, BC! Come on, man, you should know this. But I believe it's Star Wars. Forgive me if I am wrong, but she appeared in a new trailer. I don't know if this is a movie or a show. I don't know. But congrats to Sasha. I haven't had a chance to see the trailer. I'm sure she's great at it because it's Sasha Banks and she's great at everything she does. But then there's bad news, guys. So again, congrats for Sasha for that. But the bad news is she also appeared in another trailer, one we didn't want to see her in, and that is the SmackDown trailer for this Friday night. That's right, WWE is announcing her return from the attack she just took from Bayley two Fridays ago. That attack was so vicious, it should have kept her on the shelf for months. There was only 2 scenarios. If you're going to rush her back, you set it up for Hell in a Cell, because that makes sense. Bayley and Sasha, Hell in a Cell. If there's ever a match to be in a cell, it would be that one. However, this is too big for that, and it's been dragging on for so long that this needs to be on a bigger stage with an actual crowd. I think this beating was so severe in the way they did the neck job that you keep her out till the Royal Rumble. You have Sasha Banks win the Rumble as a surprise entrant, and she goes to WrestleMania. That's right, I would have Bayley keep that title all the way through Mania. Longest reigning women's champ of all time. And Sasha takes it from her on the biggest stage of them all. A story that has been dragged on for that long, and pretty damn good too, needs that type of culmination. And the story just writes itself with that type of an attack beating. Again, if you're gonna rush it, right before Hell in a Cell is the best I'll offer you. But you're telling me 2 weeks later They're announcing Sasha. Now, some people are saying, don't worry, BC, she might not be in the ring. Maybe it's via satellite. You better hope so. But even then, it's still a return. We should not be seeing anything or hearing about Sasha Banks until months from now. Hell in a Cell would be the earliest, which again is next month, but I don't even want to see that. I mean, this should be Royal Rumble. The beating was justified to keep her off for that long. And trust me, I hate not seeing Sasha. As a fan of Sasha, I want to see her every show. I love when it was Sasha 3 brands. I was loving that shit because unlike Charlotte, it was captivating. But I love pro wrestling storytelling just as much. And I know that this is best for everybody. So, man, 2 weeks later, I just don't know what I do know what this company is thinking, actually. It's people like me that kind of forced WWE to do this. So, unfortunately, I played a little part in this, right? It's all of us that saw how well they did 2 weeks ago. And we talked about it. All of the columnists, the journalists, the content creators, the YouTubers, the podcasters, all of us that talked about how big the number was that Sasha and Bayley got. 2.32 or something like that. Best seg in a long time in pro wrestling. And we all talked about, wow, Sasha and Bayley did the thing, man. They just pulled in the best segment since before WrestleMania. And I know WWE saw that, heard that, not just from me. I don't got that big of an ego, relax. But from all of us, they heard the chatter and they were like, oh, we got to get Sasha back. That was our best number. There you go. That's our key to getting better ratings. Let's just keep pumping Sasha Bayley. If you pump something too much, you're going to run it right into the ground. It's pretty sad when a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate company with all of the talent that they have on that roster, in 5 hours of live TV time every week, 3 hours on Raw, 2 hours on SmackDown, not including NXT, with all of that time and talent and resources, that they have to depend on these two women to pull in any significant rating. But that's what we're seeing. They have failed to build up anybody else or make any other storyline meaningful. So the second they found out about that number, plans started to be in motion to bring Sasha immediately back and basically no-selling the attack angle. Because it was being sold beautifully. Sasha was even off social. She was playing it beautifully. Sasha is old school. She didn't even go on social the entire time she got attacked. Days and even over a week later. Everything was being told beautifully. And then WWE found out about the number that they pulled from the attack angle and the championship match with Shayna and Nia. And then, boop! We gotta get Sasha back! We need those numbers! Vince, you may derail a good story that's being told. Who cares? Let's get him out there now! Suck it all up while it's hot. They don't plan long-term anymore. And even when they do, it wouldn't matter. Vince will They could plan a year in advance. Remember what they did with John Cena and The Rock? They announced it like a year before the WrestleMania. They could do that and Vince will show up an hour before and rip up everything. So the whole year was rendered meaningless and useful. Useless. Useful. Yeah, nothing Vince does these days is useful. He could come up an hour before and just render that useless. A year's worth of planning. I love the show Stranger Things. I just saw that they've completed the writing for the entire season 4. And the Duffer Brothers, who write the entire Stranger Things show, they showed all the screenplays, man. All the scripts. I'm sorry. And it looks like 9 episodes, but it's a pile of papers, and it's all the scripts, man. It looks like 9 episodes of season 4 of Stranger Things, and I can't wait, man. I'm pumped. But I thought, it was just a funny thought came to my dome piece, and I thought if Vince McMahon stormed into that room with the Duffer Brothers, he would take those scripts up, totally finished, months and months of work, and rip them up. And you get some fucking crazy last-minute audible, man. Stranger 4 of Stranger Things will be stranger than ever before, and nobody will ever tune in to Season 5. It'll be that fucking bad. Everything Vince touches is turning to shit. Back in the day, everything Vince touched turned to gold. So if you're asking me, is it time for Vince to kind of move on? Not in life, but just from WWE, the answer is a resounding yes. And that sucks to say because the dude was a one-time genius. The guy has to leave now. He has to. And I'm not saying it's going to be better with Disney because they don't know what the fuck to do with it, and it'll turn out to be like what WCW, what happened with them. Once you get Bischoff out of there and people that kind of knew what they were talking about, you were stuck with Turner people. Turner suit and ties that didn't understand the pro wrestling business at all. They were in left field of a baseball game with a hockey stick. And before you know it, WCW was out of business or being sold to Vince and out of business. You know, it would be the same thing with Disney, I feel. Fox at least knows a little bit what to do with them. But I think it's time that Vince has to, because when you are resting everything on just two females, when you're resting everything on Bayley and Sasha to the point where you can't even have Sasha sell this storyline, that's sad, man. That's sad. All to try to tick up some ratings. Listen, I'm all for higher ratings. And yeah, they should be doing anything and everything to bump up ratings, but try to build superstars, build characters, and build storylines. And if you do that, you're going to have several people that you can depend on. Right, like back in the day, Hogan's angle wasn't the only thing. You had the Warriors angle to fall back on. You had something cool going with the Big Boss Man. You know, in the 90s, it wasn't just Stone Cold and Vince McMahon that you were hanging everything on. You had The Rock and Triple H. You had The Undertaker and Kane doing some crazy shit. You always had several things going that piqued our interest to the highest degree. Nowadays, this company's like, where's any sense of high rating? Bayley and Sasha, get me them two. Vince, we just wrote Sasha off TV for a few months. No, bring her back. Are you sure, Vince? I'm Vince McMahon. I'm always sure. Can you tell I'm pissed off? And I love Sasha. I never thought I'd be pissed off to hear that Sasha's coming back. But guys, Sasha, Bayley, pro wrestling, WWE, and the fans, we all, as a community, deserved better out of this feud. And now she's already coming back to answer Bayley, man. Nah, brah. I'm not on board with that. Not at all. This is Vince McMahon ruining, sabotaging his own greater success story. Because this is a greater success story. One of very few that he has had in the last several years. And now he's going to run it into the ground. You know, this is what Vince does. He'll take anything of any semblance of success and he'll run it into the ground. Real quick too, Lana, guys. Lana's pissed off and she's threatening to quit social because there's bullies or something that are on there, and they constantly I don't know. It's funny. It's not funny. But I don't know what she Are we all not adults? Do we not know what social is? Social media. If you're an adult and you're on social media, how much sympathy can somebody give you? You should know exactly what it is. You shouldn't have to wait till people are mean to you. I never understood that, man. I left social media a long time ago. Nobody being mean or anything. I had the best motherfuckers, man. I always kept my shit private anyway. So I always had, my tried and true people. But I left it because it was just, you have that epiphany. What am I doing? Why am I on here? You're only on social media if you're bored as fuck, which find a hobby or find something that'll make you millions of dollars one day. Find something you really love, a passion, a joy. Get out of your phone just because you're bored. Or you just need attention. So you're posting pictures or whatever. I don't know. So you need attention. Or you just really feel that people need to know your opinion. You're constantly on fucking social. Or you just really want to follow other people. Either one of those options, I never understood. I don't need attention. Absolutely not. In fact, most of the time, rather not have it. Number two, I'm never bored because I'm always occupying my time with meaningful shit. Even if, when I have time, when I have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I'm already over I'm going over a half an hour with you guys. That's how much I love talking to you guys. But when I do allot time, I make sure it's in the most passionate way, talking or doing what I love. So when I have free time during the day, I love pro wrestling. I created a channel. Thankfully, it became successful and we could do things like this. But I could never, if I'm bored, picture myself just in a phone, following just in my phone, man, 37 times a day. They did a study how many people will check their social media throughout the day. And like the average was like anywhere from 25 to 37 times. That was the average. Some more, some maybe a little bit less. But it's just a natural habit now to check social 100 times a day. Whenever you get a moment of boredom, you just check your phone. You check your social. You know what I mean? And it's a habit that people have to break. And that third thing was following people. I could never even, I could never, man. I know somebody who's a big theme park nerd like myself, and they follow Kevin Owens on social media. I don't know if it's an Instagram or Twitter, I don't know. But he follows Kevin Owens, and he's always talking about, oh man, him and his wife, they were at Universal last night. They were at Hogwarts. They were at Potter World. They were at Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom. Because Kevin Owens is a huge theme park nerd as well. All wrestlers are. Ultimate Warrior was. Kevin Owens is. Mick Foley is. Alexa Bliss, obviously. Tegan Knox. Pro wrestlers, I've noticed, and pro wrestling, a lot of them theme park nerds as well. Count me in on that. So, but he's always talking about Kevin Owens always being there. And I'm like, dude, who cares? I mean, you're following this fucking dude, or I think it's his wife or something, because she posts more. So maybe it's his wife that he was, I don't know. But every single time he's at the park, you know, and I know it's a fun little, hey, BC, guess who was at the park? But, dude, stop. It's so weird. You're following this. Man, get enough cash and go yourself. You go. Instead of following his adventures, be on your own adventures. Be the person that others want to follow. Don't be the follower. The Ant-Man. That's it. The more you know. The more you know. Remember that shit? Dun, 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 dun. Bray Wyatt, man, had an awesome reference to that on the Firefly Funhouse this Friday. And it was the less you know. Boom, 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 boom. For you 80s babies out there. You guys know what I'm talking about. NBC, the more you know, man. Before every show, there would be some celebrity and they would try to help you out with some words of wisdom. And then it would come up with a little bit of a theme, the more you know. And it was a little shooting star. All right, now we're going off the tracks. I'm going to end it there. I'm going to go get another coffee. You guys enjoy Wednesday. Hopefully we got a kick-ass Dynamite and NXT show. And if all goes right, I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow for a double review maybe. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But we'll talk. Much love, guys. Check you.